get this, picture this, okay? 5-year-old Jeff Bezos, right? Eyes glued to the TV, watching those grainy images, you know the ones, of Apollo 11 landing on the moon. That's all it took. That one moment to spark a lifelong obsession with space travel.
It's incredible, isn't it? What's amazing is this wasn't just some like fleeting childhood fantasy. The text really emphasizes how strong, how tenacious Bezos's dream was. He carried that with him, nurtured it for decades.
Yeah, it makes you think, right? I mean, even a goal as huge as like launching rockets or, I don't know, building an online empire, it all starts with that one little spark, that persistent desire. I mean, Bezos, he's a testament to what happens when you nurture that spark.
Absolutely. And, that's what makes his career, his whole trajectory so interesting. He somehow, I don't know how he did it, but he connects all these totally different things.
Yeah.
I mean, selling books online versus launching rockets.
Yeah.
But it all goes back to that dream. Each step, even Amazon, it was all a stepping stone to something bigger.
Right. It's wild. Oh, and you know what I love? That story, that anecdote from his Charlie Rose interview. Bezos is talking about wanting to, and I quote, go check out a few things in space. Like, it's no big deal. Billions of dollars on the line, and the guy still has that, like, childhood wonder.
And here's the takeaway. Like, the real thing you can learn from all this. Bezos knew early on that Amazon wasn't the dream. It was just the way to fund the dream. Space exploration, that was it. So it's like strategically building your own path, right? Creating a way to get what you really want. So think about your own goals. What's your lottery? What seemingly unrelated path could be the key to getting everything you've ever wanted.
It's like, what's that saying? The scenic route is often the most rewarding. Sometimes the most direct path. It's not obvious. Sometimes that winding journey, that's what leads to the unexpected stuff.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of turning dreams into, like tangible things, our next deep dive, we're talking about a company that's making the impossible real. Dreamscape Immersive.
Okay, so imagine this. You're stepping into this like virtual world, right? And you can feel it, like actually feel the wind like rushing past you as you're racing through this like crumbling temple. And I'm not talking about some, futuristic fantasy. This is real. This is Dreamscape Immersive.
It's really incredible. Like the perfect example of how, technology, it can just blur the lines between dreams and reality. Like take their Curse of the Lost Pearl experience, for example, right? They created this, I don't know, it's like this multi-sensory VR adventure. It's amazing.
Yeah, and the text talked about how they use all these like sensory details to really pull you in. Like you're not just watching, are you? You're grabbing torches, feeling the wind. Oh, and you can even feel yourself falling. It's that dizzying feeling, like you're plummeting. Wild. It's all about those really like vivid, memorable moments, that full immersion thing.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Vivid details, they matter. Whether you're, working on your own visualization or trying to like really get an idea across to someone, those specific like tangible details, that's what makes experiences and dreams come alive.
It's like Dreamscape. What's the word? It's like they're engineering aha moments, but instead of just thinking it, you're feeling it, right? Like in your gut.
Yes. 100%. And this is like another parallel to Bezos. They're both driven by this need to like push past the limits, make the impossible happen. But, and this is important, there's a difference. Dreamscape, they're not trying to, escape reality. It's more like they're enhancing it.
Which reminds me, Dreamscape's founder, Ronald Menzel, he said, do in the real world what you can do in the real world. It's like dream big, right? But keep your feet on the ground. Use those dreams, that energy to like actually do something.
Yes. And sometimes, the best, most innovative solutions, they come from that mix of imagination and practicality. It's like knowing that just because you're aiming for something incredible, it doesn't mean you can't make progress right now, right here.
It's like that Audemars Piguet experience, right? The Clockwork Forest. They made this, it's like the surreal journey through a giant clock. You even have a white rabbit guide. Pure imagination. But it's still grounded in like the craftsmanship of a, luxury watchmaker.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's the beauty of like really dreaming big, not about rejecting reality. No, it's about using those wild ideas to make things better, to make things extraordinary. But how do we do that? How do we like tap into that power? That's where this text gets really, down to earth. It gives you tools, like a whole toolkit for growing your own dreams.
A toolkit for dreamers, huh? I like the sound of that. So where do we even like start with this whole defiant dreaming thing?
Well, the first step might surprise you. You have to, and this is important, you have to give yourself permission to dream in the first place.
It sounds, I don't know, kind of obvious when you say it like that.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is, And the text makes this point really well. We get so caught up in expectations. What society expects, what our families expect, even what we think we should be doing. And it's like all those things, they just kind of, I don't know, squash those little dreams before they even have a chance.
Right, right. And it's like we were talking about that what if thing earlier, and this is what it's all about. Sometimes it's less about knowing the answer and more about just like letting yourself ask the question, acknowledging that there could be something more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about like breaking free from those limits, like the text mentions Ariana Huffington. She had that whole burnout thing, right?
Yeah.
And it forced her to really figure out what success meant for her, not what anyone else said, which just proves you don't have to follow some preset path.
Ah, the comparison trap. It gets you every time. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, you know? And for someone like you, I mean, you're all about different perspectives. That's got to be like huge, just realizing that there's no one right way to be successful.
100%. And once you've given yourself permission, then what? Then it's about finding those dreams. And get this, the text actually gives us like these two questions to help. Ready? What if this year is your last? And what if you couldn't fail? Take a second, seriously. Maybe even hit pause. Think about it.
Those are some heavy questions. It's like they cut through all the noise, right, to what really matters.
Right. And the text also mentions Christina Carlson. She talks about making a dream gym, like a space just for dreaming. It's like you have to make time for it,
Yeah.
You have to give yourself the space to actually have those dreams.
That's like training. You have to work those imagination muscles.
Exactly. And that leads us to the last piece, and honestly, it might be the most important. Visualization. Like really vividly picturing your dreams. And the text brings up this super interesting guy, George Mumford, Michael Jordan's mindfulness coach.
Whoa, wait. Michael Jordan had a mindfulness coach. That's amazing.
I know, right? Okay, so Mumford, he has this analogy about, get this, a marble statue. He says we're all like masterpieces, but we're covered in, like extra stuff. All this like self-doubt and distractions and the real work, it's about chipping away at that stuff to reveal what's underneath.
So it's not enough to just like daydream. You have to take action. You have to like make those what ifs into real goals, into something you can practically taste.
Exactly. And it goes back to knowing yourself. Like Oprah says, people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go. If you know your strengths, your values, you can make a plan that feels right, that feels like you. And who knows, maybe your dream will be the thing that inspires the next generation to, I don't know, launch a rocket or build their own dreamscape.